Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏. Today guys, we're going to dive down into the world of 𝗖𝗢, see what's going on and why we have seen such a significant push with the price action of 𝗖𝗢. Guys, as we get into it, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏. Right, with all that said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what's going on here with 𝗖𝗢. Okay guys, so obviously 𝗖𝗢 has been, pretty interesting recently, right? And kind of not doing too much, kind of just bumbling along inside our buy zone for quite some time. I've been kind of dollar cost averaging 𝗖𝗢 for quite a while, and I'd like to take credit for this, but I honestly can't. I don't own that much 𝗖𝗢. I own a decent amount, but it's not, a significant amount that would do this kind of price action. But very, very good to kind of see this thing kind of, a good period of accumulation inside this zone. Now, for those who do not know, I was really big on 𝗖𝗢 because I think it's something that is very much needed in the space in terms of making it easy for mass adoption for a lot of people who are maybe not too savvy with crypto, to be able to send cryptocurrency to their friends and family and really get that communication piece done. Really kind of good stuff going on. Then, this is kind of driven really from a change in direction. Now, I haven't done a full review on this yet, but basically they're kind of spinning it now. They still have their kind of core kind of principle there, but they're now really trying to jump onto the metaverse kind of side of things, right? So they're looking at it from, okay, how do you communicate with the metaverse and all that kind of stuff, Web3. And so basically, that's kind of what they're looking at, building an open and inclusive Web3 run by communities. 𝗖𝗢 provides an incentivized node network where any wallet address can communicate with any other wallet address, NFT owner, or smart contract participant without any reliance on a centralized party. The 𝗖𝗢 network is decentralized and end-to-end encrypted. It's fantastic tech, right? And I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about it so much. I've got a lot kind of going on, but this is a change in direction. So I do want to do a review. Does it still align to my strategies and all that kind of stuff? Does this change how I think 𝗖𝗢 is going to perform and all that kind of stuff? I need to still do that piece. I do think on the face of it, this is a positive change. Really kind of trying to bring in kind of what's going on. What I don't want to find when I do my research is whether or not they're just jumping on the hype, where they're just jumping into the metaverse because that's where the money was flowing. That's the kind of the worry there. So I'm going to be doing some due diligence on it and find out kind of what's going on. But this is a change of direction, but they are still, still got their core principle there as well, communication, inclusive of just mass adoption. I think it's very, very powerful stuff. So it's good to see that it's moving, but I do want to do that kind of review to make sure that my strategy still aligns to them. So obviously the candles have moved quite significantly, right? So good accumulation period, good push to the upside. And my portfolio has been really thankful for this. And I haven't sold any. I know that Chris has actually now taken out his initial investment and is only left profit in 𝗖𝗢 at this point. Chris likes to do that. He does that pretty much with all his projects. He likes to take out his initial investment, and then he's only got his actual profit running in them. For me, however, I tend to ride it a little bit longer. I've not sold a single 𝗖𝗢. I've only bought 𝗖𝗢, and I've still have it. So there you go. So for due diligence and transparency, yeah, I've not sold any 𝗖𝗢. I know that comes up a little bit. So obviously this spike here, we can obviously see the natural pullback that has occurred. That's something that we'd expect to happen. So what we want to do is we want to first of all figure out, how deep was that correction? Was it in line with our expectations? And for that, we're going to use the fib chart, and we're obviously going to be taking a look at this. So we can see we pulled down to the 50% retracement zone. Normally you come down to the 618, but actually the 50% isn't too bad. And here you can see an ABC inside there, and what you can do is you can kind of monitor that with an A, a B, and a C. Now, for the most part, that looks like it's a very shallow C wave, and we can check that with our tool just here. We can just grab hold of that very, very shallow C wave. It should have been right down there, in the 702, 786 zone. So, it's held up quite well from that, right? Yes, it's an ABC that has completed, but that C wave is very, very shallow. Okay, that's actually positive news. But what you are seeing here is also a continuation pattern. We also have an A, a B, and a C move up. And again, that's pretty much in line with your expectations. So if we grab hold of that one, and we'll just check it for our sanity. You can see that we overextended, but we didn't go impulsive. We kind of stayed pretty much right where we'd expect to with the C wave, so pretty much normal. Now we are tracking an ABC to the downside. Okay, so we have our yeah, I'm gonna call it there A. We're looking for that B wave up right now. A little bit of momentum, so we'll monitor that in a second, and then obviously a C wave down. Again, this is continuation. You can see how we're just trading sideways, and that's a key point just to kind of keep in check here. If we just check our A wave, and we'll put that on the bounce. Yeah, so we're coming up to the 50%. We could probably move up to 0.00714. That's a 618, a little bit higher. I'm going to leave the B wave there for now, and then we'll move that down, and we can see that the C wave should probably come in at about 6.2, so 0.00621 approximately. Okay, and the main thing here that you're noticing is it's continuation, just continuously trading sideways. Now with this, obviously this tends to lead to a continuation of the trend that led in. Okay, I kind of just went through this tutorial on the V-chain chart, right? So we have a trend that goes up like this. Okay, so we have an upward trend. Then we have some kind of flattish kind of sideways trading kind of going on for a little bit, and then from here, after you kind of have that last kind of downward move of a sideways trade, you tend to end with that continuation. Okay, so what trend led in into that sideways trade was an upward direction. Okay, so we had an upward trend here, we then had sideways trade, and then that led to, if I draw that correctly, more of an upward trend. Okay, so that's generally kind of what you see from a continuation, right? Lots of frustration, lots of people get shaken out during these kind of continuation patterns because they can last a while, specifically if they're on a larger time frame. And then obviously you get that next kind of continuation to the upside. Doesn't always play out this way, but you know, for the most part, that's kind of how a continuation pattern works. If you're in a downward trend as you go in, then you should expect to effectively have a downward trend after your continuation pattern, right? It just continues the trend that you're in. So what we're looking at here for Silo really is exactly that, in my opinion. I think we are gearing up for another move. Just remove these off of here. So we have this spike to the upside, which is just an ABC at this point, guys. This is an A, a B, and a C. There's nothing special about that. But we could also argue that this in itself could be construed as a massive A wave on a larger time frame. And then we're looking for this B wave, and then we look for that next leg up, right? And if we already have measured it. If we take this measurement here, I'm just going to grab it. I know it's the wrong way around, but I'll take it. We can see that that actually puts us right up here. Okay, with a standard C wave. Now, if this does turn impulsive and we actually have an impulsive trend for Silo, I will turn this the other way around. This could lead us into, you know, some pretty interesting kind of price discovery and all-time highs for Silo. So, for example, if we were to now go ahead and push above 1.4 cent, this is no longer just an ABC move. This would actually be a big impulsive move with a wave 1, a wave 2, which again, they tend to be a little bit flat like this, potentially a wave 3 high, and then come down for a wave 4, not crossing wave 1, and then another spike to the upside, right? So some interesting things, I think, on the horizon here for Silo. Now, obviously, we can't speculate too much on what's going to potentially happen next, but ultimately, you know, we are looking for a bit of a downward swing. Okay, and then we are looking for hopefully a bit of a break once this sideways trade is out, and that continuation to an upward trend. Now, obviously, with that being said, you know, there's a lot of people who were invested in Silo for a long time, me included, right? Before the kind of fundamental changes that were made in the direction of the protocol. But it's a positive change. They might hodl it in and see it go a little bit further. There's a huge period of accumulation down here. If people were taking advantage of that, then, you know, ultimately, you know, you could start to see this thing really pull back. But the stochastic RSI is not indicating this. It's if I actually pull that back on there, just get rid of that additional one. The stochastic RSI is actually looking pretty positive. So we are looking for a pullback and then potentially a bigger push to the upside. Now on the daily chart, you know, here you can see good amount of momentum, right? And this is why this could be an A wave with a B wave and then turn impulsive in itself. And when we actually take a look at the kind of price expectations that we had set based on the trends that were here previously, you know, you were talking about 5.4 cent or so. But this potential change in direction of the protocol and what they're trying to actually go after could potentially, you know, might have to reassess this entire strategy and actually think about, you know, where it's actually potentially going to go slightly longer term. So yeah, 𝗖𝗎's looking good. I will do a review on the fundamentals, see if it's still something that I actually want in the portfolio. I think it is. I think at the core it's the same. I think it's just a bit of marketing more than anything else to say that they're going after certain things. There are probably a few additional things that I'm not quite, you know, fully aware of just yet. But ultimately, I do think that it's potentially pretty good news for 𝗖𝗎. And I do expect it to potentially continue with a good run to the upside. So, guys, I am going to leave the video there. Hopefully, you have found it useful and informative. If you have, then, you know, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.